If it wasn't for Kid Gravity, I would not even known about this story. So he might actually talk about this before I get a chance to upload it. But I said to myself, I definitely got to get in on this one. So in this picture, you see two people. You see Bill Burr, which I'm sure many of you are familiar with. He is a very well-known comedian, has been doing stand-up for probably about 20 years now. I know he started out in like the early 2000s and he's still doing stand-up to this day. And the woman standing next to him is his wife. No one it's not new on me or a lot of anybody who's probably familiar with Bill Burr that yes, he is married to a black woman. He's actually talked about her in several of his stand-up shows. But that's a picture of him and his wife together, and her name is Nia Renee Hill. I think that's her name, Nia Renee Hill. And this is just a regular picture of them, standing together. And you're probably wondering, why am I talking about Bill Burr and his wife? Well, that's because we have this woman who has a lot of hate in her heart by the name of Laura Loomer. Who, I'm gonna be honest with you, I never heard of this woman before until today when Kid Gravity has shared it into the Discord. And I found out some different things about her, nothing to throw a parade over for sure. But she's one of those type of people. And she wrote on her X account, she says, "Why is Bill Burr married to this? Look at how he referred to this man's wife. She referred to her as this and not her. She called his wife this, as if she was some kind of inanimate object, as if she was some kind of a creature, as if she was something to be disgusted by." She goes on to say, "Isn't he a millionaire? LOL. If you are a millionaire, prioritize your health and get a personal trainer." So now she's basically coming for his wife's weight, basically saying she's overweight or she's fat or anything like that. Aren't these some of the same women that always try to say stop fat shaming or stop body shaming? And what is this Laura Loomer chick who you see what she wrote on here? Isn't that exactly what she's doing right here? And honestly, I've seen several pictures of Bill Burr's wife, and she actually is in pretty decent shape. Maybe this is just one of those moments where she decides that she wants to, be comfortable. Because I've seen several pictures, like you can go and type in her name and you can look at her and tell she definitely stays, like she tries to stay as fit as she possibly can. She goes on to say, "There is no excuse for rich people to be severely obese and unhealthy. If you have money, prioritize your health." I find that very interesting. That's coming from a woman like Laura Loomer, considering it's no secret that this woman is a huge Trump supporter. And look at him. And also look at who he's married to, Melania Trump, someone who is slim. And that's who she married. But she made sure to target Bill Burr's wife and refer to her as this and not as her. You can't tell me that Laura Loomer is anti-black, and she's probably pissed that Bill Burr, a white man, a PC man, is married to a black woman. Meanwhile, Laura Loomer has no harmony in her life, because who would want to touch that? I mean, look at her. This is a picture of Laura Loomer. Like, look at her. When I was going through the timeline, it was so many people calling her Jigsaw. Like, it was a lot of Jigsaw comparisons. Like, this woman literally looks like she's been on the table a few times. She's gotten a few Botox injections or fillers or whatever the case may be. She looks like a guest on that show that used to come on called Botched, which is basically where people went to go get plastic surgery, and it was basically what it said. It was a botched procedure. And when I saw this post, when Kid Gravity had posted it, I said, does this woman not have any mirrors at home? I said, she must not have any mirrors in her house if she's going to sit up there and have the nerve to talk about this woman who looks like she's in her natural state and looks a whole lot better than Laura Loomer in her natural state, or even when she's made up, because of all of the injections and stuff that she's gotten to her face. And what I found to be very interesting is that Laura Loomer, I'm assuming that this woman, Laura Loomer, is either around the same age maybe as Bill Burr and his wife, or somewhere along those lines. But Well, I was shocked to find out otherwise. So I just happened to type Laura Loomer into Google, and this is what came up. This woman was born May 21st, 1993. Yes, this woman is younger than I am. This woman just turned 30 this year, and that's how she looks. She looks a whole lot older than me and Bill Burr's wife. So she has a lot of nerve to sit up there and try to talk about anybody's looks. She has a lot of nerve to say that about anybody. But she's one of those controversial artists where the only time she makes herself quote unquote relevant is whenever she's saying something very controversial or something that she can get herself wrapped up in as far as a scandal is concerned. But yeah, when I found out that this woman was born in 1993, I had to adjust my eyes. I said, wait a minute, let me make sure it's not 1983. But it says she was born in 1993. She just turned 30 back in May of this year. And this is how she looks. This woman has already hit the wall. She probably hit the wall before she turned 30. But see, when you take a combination of hate, being anti-black, and all those fillers that she got, because I'm willing to bet that is not her original face, that's what you come up with. But then I thought to myself, it must be another reason why she's probably upset too. Apparently she, like many of these other failed individuals out here, ran for some kind of a position, for some kind of political seat, and they lost. Because apparently she tried to run for some position down there in Florida and it didn't work out the way that she did. And now she's basically gone off the rails and decided to grift any and everywhere she can possibly get some money. I'm not surprised by any of that. So this woman is just miserable. She's clearly anti-black. She posted that in order to get some attention. It would be very interesting and funny if Bill Burr got wind of what she said and actually roasted her in his next stand-up, because if y'all know Bill Burr, he has no problem roasting white women. I remember that time he was on SNL and he was going in on PC women. Man, them Karens and them feminists was pissed at him about that. I think I had talked about that in a video that I did a while back when it first happened. But if y'all remember what I'm talking about, then you know. But if you have no clue, you can just go on to YouTube and just type in Bill Burr goes in on white women. But like I said, he's like an equal opportunist. He be going in on he be going in on everybody. But his gold mine is definitely when he be going in on them feminists, and most of them happen to be PC women. So ironically, I hope he finds out what she says so he can roast her from heaven to hell and back again. I had to go back and actually try to figure out where exactly did Laura Loomer get all of this vitriol from in order for her to call Bill Burr's wife this in such an insulting manner. And it all stemmed from this picture right here, because I had saw it floating around, but I didn't think to look into it, and then I didn't put two and two together until just right now. So apparently there was a UFC event, and you know, a lot of different celebrities like to go to different UFC events depending on who's fighting, or maybe just to make an appearance, or they might just got invited. And Bill Burr and his wife happened to be there, sitting right there in one of the front rows. And if you look at the picture, you see Donald Trump walking in, and you see Bill Burr's wife, Nia, right there flipping the bird with both hands right there. And it caught the attention of a lot of people, especially you know who, and people like Laura Loomer. So I believe that's where her post stemmed from. That's the only thing I could really think of when it came to that. But she again had the nerve to just refer to this woman as this when she looks like the way that she does. So that's exactly where it comes from. And it's crazy again because she brings up obesity, but they sitting up here lying about 45's weight. It is no way in the world you can tell me that this man who has some height to him and looks the way that he does physically only weighs 215 pounds. I'm shorter than Trump. I'm slimmer than him. And I weigh about 5 pounds more than what they claim he weighs. So something ain't adding up.